What if you could close deals in your dreams? I'm not talking about wishful thinking. I'm talking about a system, an engine, that works for you 24/7, turning ice-cold leads into paying customers, even while you're completely offline. It sounds like something out of science fiction, but I built it. I built an AI version of myself, a digital twin, that runs my entire sales process while I sleep. In the next few minutes, I'm not just going to tell you about it. I'm going to show you exactly how this AI twin generates sales around the clock and how you can build one too. Anyone who's tried to build a business knows the feeling. It's a relentless, never-ending grind. You're the CEO, head of marketing, lead salesperson, and customer support, all rolled into one. Your company's growth is tied directly to the hours you can physically put in. The bottleneck is you. I lived this reality for years. My days were a blur of prospecting, sending emails, and jumping on calls, but my nights were filled with this nagging anxiety, knowing that my business was effectively closed the second I stepped away from my computer. A great lead could come in through my website at 11 p.m., genuinely interested and ready to talk, but I was asleep. By the time I woke up, made coffee, and finally sat down to reply at 8 a.m., 9 hours had passed. In online sales, 9 hours is an eternity. Their urgency was gone. They'd already found a competitor, or worse, completely forgotten why they were interested in the first place. Every single one of those missed connections was money left on the table. This wasn't just about lost revenue. It was about the ceiling I kept hitting. I couldn't be everywhere at once. I couldn't respond to every person instantly. The very thing that made my business special, my personal touch, my expertise, was also the very thing holding it back. I was drowning in repetitive work, spending hours on manual follow-ups instead of the high-value tasks that actually grow a business. I knew there had to be a smarter way to work, a way to unchain my business's growth from my personal time. The breaking point came when I lost a 5-figure deal because I was on a flight with no Wi-Fi. The lead was hot, the timing was perfect, but by the time I landed and replied, they'd already signed with someone else who had answered their questions on the spot. That was it. I was frustrated, totally burnt out, and I knew something fundamental had to change. That night, an idea started clicking into place. What if I could clone myself? Not in some creepy biological way. What if I could clone my process, my sales knowledge, my way of talking to people, my follow-up strategy? What if I could build a digital version of me that uses my best sales practices but isn't limited by time, sleep, or a bad internet connection? An AI twin. This wasn't a single flash of genius, but the start of a deep dive. I went headfirst into the world of AI automation, piecing together different technologies and experimenting with AI models. The goal was to create a system that could think and act like a top-tier salesperson, using my voice and my logic. I connected generative AI tools, the same tech behind things like ChatGPT, with my customer relationship management system. I used workflow automation platforms to act as the central nervous system, linking all the different parts of my AI twin. It was a ton of trial and error, tweaking prompts and refining logic, but slowly, something incredible started to take shape. I wasn't just building a simple chatbot, I was building an autonomous agent that could handle complex sales tasks all by itself. So, how does this AI twin actually work? How does it take a random visitor on my website and turn them into a booked meeting on my calendar? Let me break down the 4 key stages. Step 1. Lead capture and instant engagement. It all starts the moment a potential customer shows interest. Maybe they fill out a form, message my company's social media, or even just visit the pricing page a couple of times. My old process was me getting an email and responding whenever I could. The new process is instant. The moment a lead is detected, the AI twin activates, 0 delay. Using a conversational AI tool, the twin immediately starts a real conversation on whatever platform the lead used. It's not a boring, "thanks, we'll get back to you." It's a genuine interaction, happening 24/7, whether it's a weekend or the middle of the night. This instant response is critical. It catches people at their peak moment of interest and dramatically increases the chances they'll actually engage. Step 2. Smart qualification and hyper-personalization. This is where the real magic kicks in. The AI twin doesn't just talk, it thinks. It starts by automatically researching the lead, scanning their company's site and social channels to understand who they are and what they do. Then, it moves into a smart qualification process. Instead of a boring form, it asks targeted questions conversationally to figure out their needs and if they're a good fit. This uses AI-powered lead scoring to rank prospects, making sure it focuses on the most promising opportunities. Based on this research, the AI crafts a hyper-personalized message. Generic outreach is dead. This is the difference between an email that gets ignored and one that gets a reply. For example, instead of, "I see you're interested in our services," my AI twin might say, "Hi Sarah, I saw you were exploring our social media automation tools. Given your role at XYZ company, are you mainly focused on scaling content creation or improving your engagement analytics?" This kind of specific contextual communication is powered by generative AI, and it shows the prospect they're understood from the very first touch point. Most sales don't happen in the first conversation, they happen in the follow-up. But following up manually is tedious and so easy to forget. My AI twin is a relentless nurturing engine. It executes a perfectly timed, multi-channel follow-up sequence without me doing anything. If a lead goes quiet, the AI doesn't just send a lame, just checking in email, it keeps providing value. It might send a link to a case study that's relevant to their industry, or share a blog post that solves a problem they mentioned. This is dynamic content delivery. The AI adjusts its strategy based on how the lead interacts, keeping them engaged and moving them forward. This ensures no lead ever goes cold because of human error. The final goal is to drive a specific action. For some of my lower-priced, simpler products, the AI is fully empowered to close the deal itself. It can handle common objections, negotiate pricing within limits I've set, and even guide the customer to a payment page. For high-value complex deals, however, the goal is different. The AI's main job is to book a qualified meeting on my calendar. It integrates with my scheduling software, finds a time that works for both of us, and books the sales call automatically. The moment it's booked, I get a notification, but it's not just a calendar invite. It's a complete briefing package, automatically put together by the AI. It includes a summary of all the conversations the twin had, the key problems identified, the research it did, and even suggested talking points for me. So when I walk into that call, I'm fully prepared. The lead isn't cold, they're hot. They've been qualified, nurtured, and educated by my AI twin, which means a much smoother conversation and a much higher close rate. This all sounds great in theory, but what about the results? The impact has been transformative. And this isn't just me. Businesses that implement this kind of AI in sales report a 50% increase in leads and can see conversion rates jump significantly. In my own business, the change was immediate. The first month I deployed my AI twin, it booked over 24 qualified meetings for me without me lifting a finger. I would literally wake up in the morning to find my calendar filled with sales calls with people who had been fully engaged and vetted overnight. The system even started reactivating old cold leads, prospects I had completely written off. By sending out new, highly personalized offers, my AI twin re-engaged a part of my list I thought was dead, turning those dead ends into new opportunities. And yes, it actually happened. I woke up one Tuesday morning to a payment notification for a sale that was prospected, nurtured, and closed entirely by my AI while I was fast asleep. The system had paid for itself, literally overnight. So we've come full circle. That fantasy from the beginning, closing deals in your dreams, is no longer a fantasy. For me, it's my new reality. My business is no longer a direct reflection of the hours I put in. It's a system, an asset that generates revenue on its own. My AI twin handles the repetitive, time-sucking tasks, freeing me up to focus on what really matters, serving my clients, thinking bigger, and actually enjoying my life. Building this might sound complicated, but the tools and principles are more accessible than you think. You don't have to be a programmer to start automating your sales. To prove it, I've put together the exact blueprint and workflow I use to build my AI twin. It's a complete step-by-step guide that breaks down the tools, the prompts, and the logic. You can download it for free using the link in the description. The future of business isn't about working harder or longer. It's about building smarter systems. It's about understanding that your most valuable asset is your knowledge, and learning how to embed that knowledge into automated engines that work for you. Cloning your best salesperson yourself and letting them run 24/7 is now possible. Stop being the bottleneck in your own business. Start building an engine that truly works for you. Thanks for watching.